Hey guys, it's Jane. It's not Friday today, it's Saturday morning, and I'm sure it's Friday somewhere still. Um, I didn't get to this yesterday, but this should put Alastair's mind at rest. Alastair is one of my long-time commenters. Hello, Alastair. Thanks for continuing to watch and comment on my videos. Last week, he commented that he was worried that there was a body snatch situation that had gone on because I'd filmed on so many subsequent Fridays. So this should put your mind at rest, Alastair. It's Saturday and I'm only just getting around to it. And yeah, it hasn't been a fantastic reading week for me. There's been a bunch of other things going on, including the fact that I had a bout of gastro earlier in the week. So, plus I was just wading through Cassandra, Clare, City of Bones, which continued to be not quite my thing, but I did push through to the end. But I'm not going to say any more than that. I won't be reading the rest of this series. The other book that I finished this week was a second Dana Stabenow Kate Shugak mystery. This was number 10 in the series, Midnight Come Again. Now, why would I go from reading number 1 to reading number 10? You ask. Why wouldn't I read the numbers in between? Well, I answer, because I could get number 10 from the library and it didn't cost me any money. See? There is a good answer. It wasn't a good decision. Often you can read mysteries out in a series out of order, and the order's not super important. In this one, it turns out, putting the pieces together, number 9 was a really big climax one, and so there is a huge amount of what's going on in number 10, which is dealing with the emotional fallout of stuff that happened in number 9. So picking it up at number 10 was probably not a great idea, but it was still, a good enough read that I'm going to push on with the series. Hopefully from number 11 on, I won't be having the same amount of head scratchiness as I'm reading the book. So in Midnight Come Again, Kate has left all of her friends and relations, and she's gone away. She hasn't left a forwarding address, and she's missing. Chopper Jim, who's he's not a Mountie because they don't have Mounties in Alaska, but he's the equivalent. Has been asked by all of her friends and relations to look for her. He does some desultory investigating at the beginning of the story, but doesn't turn up anything. Then the FBI come to town and they second him to come and work undercover where there's some Russian plutonium that the Russian mafia have got their hands on, and the understanding is that they're trying to deal with somebody in Alaska for this plutonium, and it's all terribly hush-hush. And anyway, he is sent undercover to a fishing area on the coast of Alaska, where there's a lot of foreign fishing vessels and lots of foreign stuff going on, and he is undercover and he walks in to his job that he's going, his cover position with his assumed name, and introduces himself to his boss, and 5 seconds later, who walks in but Kate Shugak, who is also there by coincidence, also under an assumed name. And that's the setup for this story. So it was enjoyable, it just wasn't the right place to kind of pick up the series. I also read and finished Whitehall, which is another first episode from a serial box. This is a historic fiction sort of drama romance-y thing about Charles II of England and his Portuguese child bride, Catherine of Braganza. Is that her name? I'm hopeless with names, and I haven't had a super abundant amount of sleep in the last little while, so that might not be right. It also features Charles's mistress and a plucky chambermaid. This is something I've been continuing to push through with this week, Prisoners of Geography. I'm nearly halfway through. I'm still really enjoying this. It's not a super quick read. I'm reading the part about Western Europe at the moment, which is really, really interesting in the light of all the Brexit conversations that are going on. So I'm still enjoying that. just last night I started a new book, which I imagine will be largely what I'm reading this weekend. It's Peter Carey's The True History of the secret true history of the Kelly gang. I can't remember the exact title. It won the Booker a number of years ago. It's a famous Australian book that I have not read, but I'm reading it now, and it is what it says on the tin. It's an imaginatively recreated historical piece about Australia's most famous bushranger, Ned Kelly. Ned Kelly lived and died not that far from me in Victoria. His story is one that really, still to this day, has a lot of resonance culturally. It's an interesting story, and Peter Carey, of course, is an amazing author, so this is a very interesting read. That's pretty much where I'm up to, what I'm doing. I'm still kicking on with my hot and sticky writing challenge. I've finished my words. I'm up to date as of yesterday. I haven't written today yet. I'll go and do this now once I finish my videoing. I'm just got my main character about to get herself into trouble at night in a library, so I'm relatively happy with how things are going on. The other thing I want to mention just before I go is that last night, well, it might have been this morning, in the middle of the night last night, while I was sitting up with the baby, I watched the first episode of a new science fiction Australian drama, which I'd heard about from friends. It's called Clever Man, and it's really something a bit special. It's kind of an Aboriginal superhero story set in a dystopian future Australia. I'm going to put a link to the trailer in the description below. I am actually really excited, having watched this first episode, to see how this goes. It's nothing like anything I've ever seen before. The story was created by an Aboriginal man, and there's a huge number of Aboriginal actors in the cast. So it's the real deal. And as I've said, I've only watched the first episode, but it was really gripping, and I'm very excited to see how that goes. So there's a recommendation for all you science fiction fans who also like a little bit of the visual arts, not just the books. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys are up to at the moment. I hope you're all well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.